Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Perkins, and today we're talking about how to treat hormonal imbalance in teenage girls. By the end of this video, you'll learn the root cause of hormone imbalances, how hormones fluctuate in teenagers, symptoms that may be noted in teenage girls with hormonal imbalances, the tests that you should get if your teenager is experiencing hormone imbalance, and how you can naturally treat hormone imbalances. All right, so let's jump right in it. Hormone imbalances may happen to anyone, males, females, young girls, everyone alike. There are more than 50 hormones in the body, and each of them communicate with each other and are responsible for a specific function. If there are more or less hormones being released in any of those organs or systems, you may have a hormone imbalance. Now, in teenagers, there are naturally hormone imbalances occurring because your child started from being not pubertal, going through puberty, maturing to an adult, and that transition requires a lot of activation of hormones in the body, something that is very new to your teenager as well as to you as well as a parent. With that, teenagers can be very moody, they can have secretive thoughts, and they may be very embarrassed to talk about the changes that are happening with their bodies. It is very important that you have a good communication with your daughter, with your teenager. Encourage that they talk about the changes that they're feeling, the things that they're going through, so that you can help them get through this process, which will happen at some point. There is a term for all the fluctuations that happen in a person when they're just starting out with menarche or puberty. There is a connection between the hypothalamus, which is an area in the brain, the pituitary gland, another area in the brain, as well as the ovaries. That connection is called the HPO axis. Now, in a teenager, that axis is very immature. That means that your teenager has not gotten to the point of the hormones functioning well together, predictably together over time. And it's completely normal and actually happens in every teenager. It really takes 10 years after the start of periods or puberty for the HPO system to become matured and to function like it should. So if your teenager had her first period at 11, her system might not be balanced until the age of 21. Sometimes it could be before that, sometimes a little later. But understanding that the way that your teenager is acting is not necessarily because they're deciding to or they just want to be in this mood, but because their internal system is really working on becoming balanced. And this is different from having a hormonal imbalance. So I'll explain. A hormonal imbalance means that a specific hormone is not being produced in the amount that it should be. That hormone can be any of the hormones in the body, insulin, thyroid, estrogens and progesterones, could be a lot of them. When we're talking about the HPO axis, we're specifically talking about the hormones related to reproduction or the reproductive system. So when your teenager goes from puberty on, the hormones we're paying attention to in this state are estrogen and progesterone specifically. The other hormones that may also be involved in hormonal imbalances are literally a different conversation and a part of our conversation today as well. Understand that internally, your daughter or your teenager is going through a lot of changes, and it just takes time for those things to balance. While your teenager has an immature HPO axis, she may have irregular periods, meaning that periods may lengthen or shorten from month to month. Sometimes she may even skip a cycle. She may have fatigue, irritability, mood changes, and a lot of the things that are representative of having hormonal imbalances. During this time, she may also have hormonal acne, which is a very, very common symptom during this time frame, as teenagers tend to be more self-conscious about their skin and how they look. Outside of having an immature HPO system, which kind of happens with all teenagers, your teenager may have another type of hormonal imbalance. With that, the symptoms are a little bit different and may include any of the following: increased sensitivity to hot or cold, increased thirst, brittle hair, depression or anxiety, hot flashes, brain fog, headaches, constipation or more frequent bowel movements, dry skin, or puffy and a rounded face. If you think that your daughter may be having some form of hormonal imbalance, then testing can be done. So if you're enjoying our learning today and conversation, please feel free to subscribe to this channel and click the bell so that you can be notified when videos like this are new on our channel. Let's talk about hormone testing and 5 specific hormones that I recommend being tested in your teenager. The first set of hormones are FSH and LH. These stand for follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. Both of these hormones work together and are released from the brain. They communicate with the ovaries, instructing them to produce hormones and to mature an egg, preparing for ovulation. The second set of hormones would be to check to see if your ovaries are producing the progesterones and estrogens as they should. So set number 2, estrogens and progesterones. Third, I recommend getting thyroid testing. The thyroid is an organ that is located in the neck, and it is responsible for producing TSH, or thyroid stimulating hormones, as well as what is considered to be T3 and T4. Together, all 3 values will give you good information about the function of your daughter's thyroid. With that, you'll get answers regarding any changes in metabolism, weight loss or weight gain, or even some of the symptoms I mentioned earlier having to do with sensitivities to cold or heat. The next hormone test that I recommend is cortisol. Cortisol is our stress hormone. It is released in our system in a fight or flight situation or an emergency. Whenever stress is around for very long periods of time, cortisol levels remain high in the body. This is dangerous because it can cause more hormonal imbalances that can later lead to your daughter's system shutting down and not functioning well hormonally. Lastly, I recommend testing for testosterone. The reason for this is that all females have testosterone, which is the male hormone or the male dominant hormone in their system. The difference between a male and a female is that in a female system, the testosterone level should be minimal. Now, in hormonal imbalances, especially linked with PCOS, testosterone levels tend to be higher. This is an easy blood test in addition to the other labs and hormones that I mentioned that can give you answers within a few weeks. I recommend that if you are concerned about your daughter having hormonal imbalances, that you see your doctor and get these tests done right away. There are other options as well for you to be able to get hormonal testing outside of the doctor's office. One way is to do an at-home test for hormones. In fact, on my website, I do have options available where you can order these tests in your home and get results sent to your home as well. If you're interested in that, click the link below. Now, you may be wondering, how do I try to create balance in my teenager who may have some form of hormone imbalance? It is very important that we create and organize the life of your daughter. The way that we do this is to maintain quality and healthy foods in the diet that's incorporating enough fiber. Teenagers tend to not like fiber much, but fiber can be in the form of having green vegetables. It could be in the form of adding things like psyllium husk or even Metamucil if you needed to go to that degree to incorporate fiber in every meal. Fiber may look like the vegetables, may also be like oatmeal or brown rice or wheat bread. These are very important for helping your system to excrete or remove hormones that are in excess in the body so that they don't remain and cause disruptions inside of your body. Also, incorporating movement is very, very important. If your teenager is very sedentary and not moving a lot or not very physically active, we recommend that you start with walks, doing small activities, going for a swim, bike riding, somehow incorporating more activity so that this will allow your daughter to sweat, and sweating helps with hormone balance, helps to remove excess hormones from your daughter's system, as well as activating the cardiovascular system or your heart to be able to help with the pumping of blood, the movement of your hormones throughout the system, and overall being more balanced. Next, I would recommend that your daughter gets adequate sleep, has less stress, and your daughter may also incorporate supplements and different herbs to help with this. To learn more about this, I want to offer you my free ebook. In this ebook, we talk about all of these things that I've mentioned today and much more and in deeper depths to help you create balance. This balance could be with your teenager or with yourself or someone that you know. Click the link below to get your free copy of this ebook, Hormones Don't Lie. I enjoyed talking with you today, and I hope you did too. I'm Dr. Perkins, a board-certified OBGYN, and I hope to see you next time.